32. I am a stay-at-home mom. I used to be a dental hygienist, but I stopped working full-time when I had my 4th child. My plexus story starts when I was pregnant with my 4th baby, and with all the fun pregnancy things that happen with irregularity. So that's kind of what got me started on it, was with the BioCleanse. My sister-in-law started me on that because it just was miserable. And with that success, it kind of led into like taking the vitamins and the whole triplex system. And I have never looked back since. It's helped me with quality sleep. It's helped with stabilizing like my mood and my hormones. So that makes for a happy mom and a happy house and kids. And then it's helped with my sugar cravings because I grew up on consuming a lot of sugar. And so through taking Plexus, I've just really made it an intentional thing to, quit, the sugar, and I don't crave it anymore. So it kind of worked perfectly on that. And then mental clarity was big, to just take care of my kids and to stay sharp, to stay focused. It really helped with that. And then immunity, like we have hardly been sick at all. Praise Jesus. Like my whole family. And my kiddos, they started the vitamins, and they've hardly been sick. We give them the kids vitamins, and then we also give them the probiotics at night. My second child, she actually had a lot of skin issues, like eczema. She had really bad cradle cap. And it just, she had like the eczema in her elbows and behind her knees and all over her back and torso, and it's completely gone. But if we ever run out of ProBio, which doesn't happen often, it comes right back, like within a couple days, and it's crazy. And then my son also had a little eczema, but his wasn't horrible. But like the ointment they give you is just a Band-Aid. It's not the root issue, or it doesn't get to the root cause, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, the ProBio 5 really helps with that. And then my other daughter too, she's really sensitive to like lack of sleep and sugar consumption, carb consumption, all that stuff. And I feel like she is happier because of the vitamins, like because of the kids' vitamins, because of the ProBio 5. She's just happy because she's not irritable from all of that stuff. It doesn't affect her as it normally would have. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, I haven't looked back. Like my husband takes the BioCleanse and the ProBio, loves it. And like I said, we haven't been sick. So.
That's awesome. And that's really cool that your whole family, can use these supplements, and you feel good about giving them to your kids and yourself.
Right.
Yep. Because they're clean, plant-based.
Yep.
And what age did you start using the vitamins with your kids?
Eleanor was probably like as soon as she could chew it, basically. So, like a year, I think.
Sure.
Like we would just break the kids' vitamin in half if, she needed that.
Right.
But she gets her probiotic and peanut butter now.
Sure.
Like the just straight peanut butter now. And the other one's just, my son, we just football kick it right down the back of his throat, and he loves it. He's so excited he can swallow it. So
that's really awesome. I know there was around Halloween, it's a little side note to kids' vitamins, right? There was a little kind of thing going around during Halloween, and it was, what is it, 4.5 pounds that kids consume? Like what do kids consume? Like 4.5 pounds of sugar in each year? And it's kids' vitamins.
Kids' vitamins. Mm-hmm.
Vitamins. So if you're
Since we started Plexus, I just check the labels, man, on everything. It's crazy.
Right. So if you're watching and you take vitamins even as an adult, but any vitamins in your household, I would go check the ingredients, and if sugar is listed as number 1 or 2, you might want to look into something different.
Food dye. Yeah, food dye as well. There's a ton on like every vitamin that I've checked. It's like red 40. It's in everything.
Sure. Wow.
So
Well, that is really awesome. I'm so glad that you also took a yes to your
yeah,
health and trying Plexus, and that, I mean, even just not having to go to the doctor, that's a huge
yeah,
win.
we don't need to.
Perfect.
So yeah, I was skeptical, obviously, for a long, like probably a year or so. My sister-in-law just kept slowly, slowly, and slowly, but yeah, I just read all the information on it, and it's been a great asset to our family.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, Erica.
Thank you.
And next, we're going to have Kathy share with us her journey. Her journey.
All right, thank you, Leah. My name is Kathy Holly. I am a gold ambassador with Plexus, and this is my story. When I started, childhood, when I was very little, I had allergies throughout my whole life. But I just remember going to the doctor very often when I was young and getting medications and taking lots of medications from the pharmacy. And it was just part of my life. I just never really questioned it. And when I got into my teens and early 20s, I started developing a lot of sinus infections also and colitis. I had a lot of stomach issues, and I was very, very active. Playing I can just remember playing basketball games and asking my coach, run into the locker room, be right back. That was not a fun part of my life. And then also I developed migraines when I was in my early teens. And so my health just kind of kept spiraling downward as I was getting older, and more migraines. My colitis was getting worse, chronic sinus infections. The pharmacist knew my name when I would walk in there, when I would come in for different meds for my allergies, sinus infections, things like that. So I finally decided in my 50s, when I turned 50, that I needed to do something to change my health. And so I started researching. I did a lot of research, and gut health kept coming up, and so did the word plexus. And I was checking into supplements at that time, trying different supplements, and they just really weren't doing the trick. And so a college friend moved into the area, and she was taking plexus, and she said, try it, just try it and see if it works for you. And so I did. So that was 5 years ago, and I am not on any medications. I do not have any migraines. I don't have any problems with colitis. When I go to the doctor for any type of a checkup, they just say, you are doing great. Everything is going well. And so I just thank God that everything turned out as well as it did on these supplements that I take. My regimen right now is I take Vital Biome and ProBio 5, the triplex for my gut health. I take X Factor for a multivitamin, and Slim and Active for an anti-inflammatory and energy. And I really, really wish I or my parents had known about plexus years ago, because then I think, my health would have been just wonderful throughout my whole life, and I wouldn't have had to go through the things that I did. So what I've learned in the past 5 years is that a healthy gut really equals a happy life.
Yeah.
So thank you, Leah.
No, thank you so much for sharing. I know that a lot of people, I mean, there's lots of parts of all of your stories that people can relate to, but especially with migraines. I think that's such a common thing for a lot of people. And is there is there one of the products you feel like address that the most, or a combination of products?
I really think it was the combination of the triplex. The ProBio 5 to get rid of all of the gunk that was in my gut that had accumulated throughout the whole, all those years that I was taking medications. The Bio Cleanse for cleaning that all out. And I was a big sugar addict, love my sugar. And so I think the Slim also helped cut down on the sugar content and the carbs that were in my gut. So I think the triplex was the key to get rid of my migraines.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Kathy. I mean, I know there's a lot. I mean, we're only going to hear like 5 minutes of everybody's story tonight. And there's a lot more details, I think, to each of your stories, or all of our stories, and how things have changed for the better for everybody. So next we're going to have Sheila share with us her journey.
All right. Hi, I'm Sheila McGee. I've been using Plexus for 5 years also. About 7.5 years ago, I started having some horrible stomach GI issues, and it took me a little bit before I went to the doctor. I finally went to and had a colonoscopy and was diagnosed with collagenous colitis. And I thought, I was excited. They know what it is and they can give me some medicine. And they did give me a few different medicines. And I was on steroids for a couple of years and had to switch them up, and super expensive. And it just really didn't seem like it was helping. And the doctor was getting frustrated. He didn't really have anything else to help me with. I started doing my own research. I knew I needed to help heal my gut and my leaky gut. But he just said he didn't have anything else. So then I got a referral, went to Mayo Clinic in Rochester, had a couple more procedures, and then was told I had SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Once again, I thought, okay, they can give me something here to help get over it. And he gave me a couple things, but pretty much told me that I'm just going to have to live with the symptoms, and that we'll try and control the symptoms. And I mean, symptoms were everything from having to run to the bathroom the minute I ate anything, the minute I took a sip of water, took a sip of anything. I would go from in the morning just having a normal stomach to the minute I ate something, I would truly just puff out and feel like and look like I was about 6 months pregnant. I was just puffy, swollen, had migraines. My mental clarity was just, I could hardly think during the workday. I was exhausted. I would have to go home every day after work, take a nap. I would eat supper with the kids and then not feel good and have to lay down. Lots of food intolerances, and a lot of just not feeling good, achiness. So I tried every probiotic there was. I tried expensive ones, cheap ones that came in an ice box. I mean, I had packages. I knew what I needed to do. I knew what my gut needed, and I tried everything, and nothing was working. And that's when I saw Marla's post. I reached out to her and said, I don't know what this Plexus is, but it's for gut health, and I know my gut health needs help. So sign me up. I will take whatever you tell me to go on. So I started the triplex, and that I was on that for a couple months. And then I started seeing kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. And once my gut started healing, it was truly amazing. I didn't think I would ever get to that point. Today, I feel better than I did 10 years ago, probably 15 years ago. My hormones are so even keel. There's days that I feel like I probably should be a little bit more, I don't know, stressed out or worried about things, but I don't know. I'm just so even keel, and it's just, I can pretty much eat anything. And I'm just, I don't know. I feel great, and it's all because truly of Plexus. After going to doctors and just having them tell you that this is what you have to live with, and you just have to figure out what works best for you for your symptoms. I didn't want to live with those symptoms because that wasn't normal to me. So every day I haven't missed Plex. I haven't missed my pink drink. I haven't missed my probiotic or any of them, just because it's made me a whole new person and gave me consistent energy all day long, and just my mental clarity, my hormones, able to sleep. It's just been a life changer.
It's really awesome. It's so much fun to hear everybody's stories. I mean, besides that you weren't feeling good at one point, we don't want that. So, but glad you've found Plexus, and that, I mean, it's really amazing when you start thinking about all the issues that you've had and each of you have had, and you even just Google them and how it relates to gut health, right? And just learning more about what your gut does and how much your gut microbiome affects just every part of your all things, your immune system, your emotions, I mean, all of the things, your skin.
Yes.
So that's really awesome. So you're a faithful Triplex user, or what products are your favorite?
Well, Triplex is my absolute favorite, but I love the multivitamin, the Mega X, which are your omegas. Vital Biome, just because that is just keeps you so even keel. The Joyome, the Active. I mean, I'm not throwing my money away. This is like, this year I looked at my flex spending. I'm like, oh, I got like 936 out of the $1,000 left to, you know, I'm like, we're not sick. I'm not spending money on different packages every week trying to figure out how to do it. It's just easy. I know what works, and it's consistency, and it works. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. Consistency matters, you know, being consistent with them. It's not going to work in 2 weeks. It's not going to work, you know, it's going to take some time to heal all the stuff we've put into our bodies. And so I'm really happy, and thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah.
And so happy that your journey is where it is today. So
Thank you.
Okay, Tammy, let's hear your journey.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Tammy Anderson, and I'm a senior gold ambassador with Plexus. And I have been taking the products for a little over a year. I started last August of 2019. I actually started faithfully taking them August 1st. These have been a game changer for me. I struggled horribly. I had a Diet Coke addiction. Honestly, you guys, it was 6 at the least amount a day, up to 12 cans a day of Diet Coke, and I drank 0 water. So that was one of my huge struggles I had. I also, of course, had sugar cravings horribly bad. And everybody that knows me knows that I am a pizza lover, and I would eat pizza every single night. I would cook a meal for my family, but I always had pizza. And so it was like Diet Coke, pizza, junk food. And I just didn't have, I had energy, but you know, when you would eat that kind of food, it was a different type of energy. Like you would go through those slumps. And I had really struggled with sleeping at night. I I could go to bed at night and I could fall asleep, but I'd maybe wake up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and could not fall back to sleep. So I'd be on my phone or I'd come downstairs, and like this time of the year, I'd be going back to work telling everybody what Christmas Hallmark movie I watched, because that's what I would do. I couldn't sleep. So I struggled with that. I struggled with weight loss. I could lose 5 pounds, but it was always right back on. I just could not keep the weight off. So what I did is I saw a post with Plexus. Laura McLaurin had a little event and I wasn't invited, but I saw this post and I was interested. So I phoned them and her and Kelly, and they're like, I'm like, I need to get started right away. What do I need to do? You know, I was one of these eager, they didn't even have to contact me. I was the one ready to go. And I am so forever grateful that I've done this, because I no longer drink Diet Coke. I might have one if we go to a restaurant, but I mean, that is no longer. Sugar cravings, I have them once in a while, but I just always up my ProBio at night if I start eating too many sugars, and that really seems to help. What else? I sleep. Oh my goodness. Now I go to bed at night, I sleep, and I wake up to go to the bathroom, but I fall right back to sleep. No more troubles with that, which I didn't realize how unhealthy that is for us, because we do need to be rested. And if you're not rested, then you're drinking Diet Coke. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so what I started with was, I started with a triplex. I bought this big variety pack. So the triplex came in there, and also a bottle of Magic for me, because of my sugar and carbs that I was eating. There was a bottle, it's balance. And so what I started doing was I would mix my slim drink. About a month later, I'm getting off track here, but they came out with the product Active that everybody's talking about. And that was huge for me. I started mixing half slim, half active, and I would do that twice a day. Usually 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when I had my second one. And it gave me consistent energy throughout the night, and I was able to sleep. So that was huge. Back to the balance. So doing that and then taking the balance, I was still able to eat pizza. You guys, I didn't have to give everything up right away. But because I was drinking this, I wasn't drinking the Diet Coke, my sugar cravings started going away. And, you know, slowly I started losing weight because it was blocking my sugar and carbs, that magic balance. So those were kind of like my main products that I took, and totally changed my life. I was able to keep my weight off, able to sleep. I feel the best I've ever felt, like these ladies shared. I mean, you feel like 10 years younger. I mean, you just start feeling so good. And one of the biggest things I noticed starting these products also was I never ate fruits or vegetables, and I started craving them. And coming from me, that is huge. Anybody that knows me, I was the worst junk food eater. So that also was a big thing. And one other thing is I work at a school, so you work with kids all day long, and it can be really tiring. And you're at a kindergarten center, and you're tying shoes, and you're doing all these things. And, you know, nothing bothered me. You would just start feeling so happy. And that is so true with these products. When you start just truly feeling happy for everybody, and you want everybody to feel like you do. So that's my story, but I just want to say, I do also love the Joyome products. They have a day and night cream, and it is wonderful. So that I like with the collagen. I've noticed huge changes with the collagen. I started that every day. So that's my story. Love the products.
That's awesome. How long after you started them do you feel like your Diet Coke cravings started to dwindle?
Oh, you know, I bet you, I told myself I could have one a day. And I bet you after about a week, I no longer wanted Diet Coke. But because the Slim and Active taste wonderful, it's amazing. You just don't crave,
Right.
you don't crave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a lot of people can relate to the Diet Coke addiction, right? Or whatever your vice is, right? If it's Mountain Dew or energy drinks or whatever it is, you know, a lot of people. So if you're also watching and that's something that you have, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. So
No.
awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Tammy. And our final journey to hear tonight is Gina. Yay! Yeah, that's all right. We're getting there. There we go.
There, all right, am I good?
Yay, yep.
Hi, wow, you guys got great stories. At first when I agreed to go last, I was thinking, oh good, and now I'm like, if I can follow this up. But thank you, everyone. I am Gina Broughton. My sister is the reason I got started on Plexus. I'm a North Dakota native, and I'm a teacher. This is my 26th year of teaching. It's hard to say that sometimes and believe it. And then I teach in Arizona right now. But I have been using Plexus for 5 years this month, actually. And if you would have asked me 5 years ago if I would have started Plexus, I would have said no, because it's actually what I did try to tell my sister when she told me I had to take the products. I didn't have a choice. So anyway, she signed me up and just told me to start taking the triplex, which is what I started with. And so I was very faithful with the slim drink, which tasted really good to me. And then the BioCleanse, I was really bad at taking the probiotic. So she said, just let me know what happens in a week. And in a week, I told her, she called me and she said, how you feeling? And I said, well, I don't know. Does it help with sleep? And she said, well, it can, because it balances your blood sugar. And I hadn't slept well for years, and like maybe sleeping 4 hours a night. And as a teacher, you know, you kind of need your sleep. And well, any job, really, right? So I definitely, I slept through the night, like 8 hours of solid sleep, which was amazing. And so that was one thing that at first I noticed. And then I've always had adult acne. I didn't really have acne as a teenager, but lo and behold, when I turned like 35-ish, it just crept up, and it was bad. I would be embarrassed to go out in public, and you know, just stuff you can't really cover up because it was just I don't know, probably you're a little vain, you know, you don't want anyone to see that. And so anyway, I struggled with that, was on medication for that, and the medication kind of started to taper and wasn't effective. And I didn't really love taking the medication anyway. So I don't know, I battled that well till I started taking the probiotic faithfully. I was taking it wrong at first, and she asked me if it was helping with my acne, and I said, well, no. She said, how often you're taking it? And I said, well, not really. So you have to take it in order for it to work. Who knew? And so I started taking the probiotic faithfully every night, and I have ever since, and clear skin now. And so I think the probiotic for me has helped me with that. Also, I've lived away from North Dakota, you know, since the 1900s, 1995. And living in the South, we have things blooming year round. And I had allergies as a kid to dusts and molds and things like that. But living down here, it's a different type of allergy. And it's year round. You have things blooming all the time, and I would get a sinus infection, and then it would lead to a chest infection, and I would take days off. And so basically, well, this year's different. We don't have the students really in school, but before this year, you know, close contact with students all the time, and they have germs, just FYI too. But I wasn't sick. I haven't taken a sick day in three full years for sure. So that's huge. And I would always have to take sick days before that because of the infections. I would lose my voice and sound terrible. So helping with the allergies. I also had this like nose drip thing. Like whenever I'd run into a building, from outside or something, I would need a Kleenex right away. Every time I'd go into a building. And that went away. Like I just all of a sudden noticed I didn't have that anymore. Yeah, so I wrote down some things. The one thing I think about the products is I take a lot of them, and I love everything that everyone said. I love all the products they said too. The one thing that I'm noticing though, as I get older, I don't feel like I'm getting older. I don't know if looks wise, who knows, but I'm feeling like when I get up in the morning, I don't feel achy and sore. And I think that is, something that has kept me to be taking the products more. I just feel good all the time. So yeah, I guess that's kind of my story.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
That's really cool. Thank you. I think most of yours, is this first time sharing live for most of you, right? Or Kathy?
Live in a Zoom. Yeah, live in a Zoom it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So awesome. That's fun too, that it's kind of everybody's first time sharing. So, so we have talked about GI issues. We've talked about sleep, migraines, acne, weight loss, and a whole slew of other things too. And so for anybody that is watching, or if it's for you or for somebody that maybe is tired of being sick and tired, or having the aches and pains, or always sick, or always having to go to the doctor, always having sinus infections, tummy issues, digestive issues. Your gut health is not just your digestive system. I mean, it's about the bacteria makeup of your gut, and that affects your immune system and your emotions. And like you've heard people share how they feel more even keel because it also affects your hormones. And it affects your skin, and sometimes that bad bacteria can come out through acne or through other rashes or different things that we shared about too in kids as well. And so there are, we're not just saying take products, but it's just about feeling your best, because you can. And just because the way our society is and our lifestyles are on the go somewhat, maybe for you, depends on what your lifestyle is, but in America we're kind of on the go, eating out, and just the air quality, there's different toxins from what we eat, and being outside, and just all the things. And so the adding probiotics that we have is really essential in getting rid of that bacteria and making your body a great environment to have everything thrive well, and so that you can feel your best. So if you're interested in gut health, if you're interested in weight management, or skin, so we have our face serums and collagen. We would love to share more about this with you and help you on your health journey. Plexus also has a 60-day money back guarantee. So you try it, and if you don't, it's not working for you for some reason, but I would almost bet money that it will help you, because you're not going to use that money back guarantee, because you're going to want to keep taking it. So please comment if you have questions, all of us, and there's many more of us. My name is Leah Zimmerman, by the way. And we are in the Glam Guts Grace team. And so we'd love to help anybody with their health journey. And we're just very glad that you took some time to hear these wonderful people share their health stories with all of you. So thank you. And anybody else have anything else you'd like to share? No? All right. Awesome. Well, have a good evening, everybody.